Hey there, y'all, and welcome to today's Daily Down and Dirty. My name is Fairlight. Welcome to Airy Fairy Tarot. All right, y'all, the message for today is Foundations of Renewal. I wasn't sure what to call it. Getting a lot of like old growth forest kind of imagery. We start out with Embrace the Masculine, but along with that Embrace the Masculine, we've got let go of the old. So a lot of themes today have been around letting go of the old paradigm. And I like to talk about that. I love when readings are about that. But I do like there's this embrace the masculine kind of energy. So I kind of want to just focus on that. You get this old growth forest energy from this being anyway. And what it's speaking to is that there is something eternal and beautiful to masculine energy that maybe isn't recognized often enough, or appreciated or even received. Maybe, wow, opening up a can of worms here, but it's like maybe masculines don't even have access to whatever this feeling I'm getting from this card, as well as like, you know, feminine energy wanting to receive what this is. But it feels like it's an eternalness. I don't know what it is. It feels like it's brand new because it's been so hidden from our experience. There's been such a rampant false sense of self imbued into everybody for so long that this emergence of whatever this quality, this energy that's wanting to speak could feel brand new, but it's actually more ancient and eternal, as old as the woods, as old as an old growth forest. It's hard to like pull my attention off of this energy. It's so strong and beautiful and nurturing. And I like to bring the quality of nurture into that of the masculine, because truly masculine energy is nurturing. I think about like myself, little old me, you know, I would love big, strong masculine arms around me, that kind of a thing, like that nurture, that protective kind of energy. It feels like there's a new emergence of that wanting to speak right now. And with this let go of the old, and there's something about this peacock where I've never recognized in this card that the peacock has like a decisiveness quality, a decisive determination to the look and the direction. Like the peacock is not looking around, do I go this way or that way? The peacock has a definitive vision, a definitive direction that the peacock is wanting to move into. And with that let go of the old energy, and just the way that these two cards came out together, I'm really loving this. Where there's been a lot of emphasis on like astrological stuff, and there's completions to cycles and all of that. But I really like this energy of this is the direction that we can be looking towards. So then I've got tarot cards by the same artist. I just love this lady. So overlighting it all is the card number 21, which traditionally is the world card and would be the end of the major arcanas. In this deck, this is not the end of it, but I like that this card personifies the angel of death, and that aligned to that world energy, closing out major cycles. Yes, we are, but there's some sort of stark truth, standing on the truth. And so from this card, I'm getting an energy that kind of like you are crossing the threshold into something brand new, something that you haven't quite known yet. Yet, going back to this energy, it feels like there's something eternal that has always been present within you that now you get to connect with on a conscious level. And so something about this card, it feels like she ushers you across that threshold, but then stands guard and makes sure that nothing else will follow you through. That you are a clean slate as you enter into whatever this new beginning is is talking about. And I like that it's this card of let go of the old, but there's such an energy, such a quality of what does this new world look like, and that things will not be following you through. So the fears may linger within, but they're insubstantial phantoms in the long run. So the next card we have is the Three of Earth reversed. Of course, I always want to see this card upright, but the Three of Earth reversed, it kind of feels like whatever you have been trying to grow into fruition, I think there's a recognition of the futility in it. Maybe underneath this card, you've got two cards underneath, but the one that I want to talk about is the Six of Water, also reversed. And it struck me how, like, if the roles were reversed or whatever, it would be like all this loving energy is pouring down into watering these seeds. There's all this nurture and nourish energy, this healing, cleansing, loving, rejuvenating, pouring into whatever you've been working on. And normally this is like my starving artist card. This is about soul's purpose. This is about really investing yourself into whatever your version of your art is, whether it's art, whether it's music, whether it's writing, or you could be passionate about accounting. You could be a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. It doesn't matter what the what is. It's just that you're willing to bleed. He's bleeding on these seeds, this acorn, to really grow it into something strong. But with this being reversed and this being underneath it being also reversed, when I see water cards reversed, it really talks about a drain. So it's kind of like maybe you've drained yourself, and for some reason with this I'm hearing like it's almost like you've been trying to prove a point to where you've lost connection with why you do it at all. There's an example that keeps coming up. One of my closest friends is a singer, a musician, very profoundly talented person, and this person was doing a gig with another talented musician, and for whatever reason this other musician criticized an aspect of my friend's musicality, which I'm gonna go beat them up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. But it was like, and so what wanted to come through with that is like, no, fuck that. This person is projecting their own insecurities, trying to make you feel insecure, to make them feel better about themselves. As when you're true to yourself, when this card is upright, when you're true to yourself, the opportunities will come. When you're true to yourself, things will come into alignment, maybe not in the timing that you want it to, but you stay true to yourself, you commit to yourself, they will show up. And so what is the point of doing what you're passionate about? If you're an artist, if you're a musician, it's about connecting with an audience. It's about connecting with the flow of creative energy. It's about allowing that music to flow through your body and being in that creation energy flow. You're live, you're being true to yourself, you're sharing a connected experience with so many people. And where is this person going to put their attention? Oh, there's a mistake right there. Oh, there's something you could do better. Fuck that. That's when it's like it drains out. So I kind of feel like this is not so much about giving up on yourself or giving up on your purpose. It's recognizing what's draining you, and it kind of feels like a big perspective shift. And with this let go of the old kind of energy, it very much feels like getting out of that mindset. I think art and music begins to suffer when it becomes monetized, although many of us want to do this for a living because all we want to do is be true to ourselves, and there's such a foundation built on commerce and capitalism. So it's like, but don't do it for the money, do it for the love of being who you are and doing what you do and doing what you love. And so there's an energy of returning that to yourself, like a restoration. Return to yourself and love all aspects. Yeah, if you notice that you would like to do something differently or better, or you want to improve, self-improvement is always welcome. But when you delineate yourself to, your this like, how does it want to be said? Like you are not equal to the biggest mistake somebody can find about you. It's just more maybe that person doesn't belong in your life, or you need to set very strong boundaries, because there's a big fucking drain on that. And then next to this card, both of these were reversed. Both of these were foundational to this. I think needing to recognize maybe where you've been draining yourself to try to check off the boxes that others created, and it's like, this isn't even my list. I already love what I do. There's no reason, I didn't need this list to come in and create a new structure that is false for me, just to distract me from loving who I am and being true to myself and moving forward in a stronger direction. That way, I didn't know all this was going to come out today. But then also with this 11 of Earth card, with this, it's within the mundane is the sacred, and within the sacred is the mundane. And how does this connect to these? It feels like both of these build a solid foundation. All right, well, that was annoying. My storage ran out and kicked me out of my video. But you know what? Maybe that's even pertinent to what was going on with these two cards. Maybe there's overloaded. Maybe you're overwhelmed with things that you need to do, and it's creating a drain. So maybe, and it's funny, it happened right as I was bringing in this card, and I wasn't quite sure what to make of it. So I'm going to let that kind of inform how I talk about it. Again, within the sacred, there is the mundane. Within the mundane, there is the sacred. I think, what is it? There's something about needing to refine. Also, the squirrel kept calling my attention as well. So I'm going to try to make sense of how this card connects to the rest of these. But something about this squirrel also being reversed, it almost feels like your mind getting away from you. And then the storage being full, like there's just too much. It's like there's just too much. There's things that need to be, maybe you literally need to clean. Maybe you need to get rid of clutter. Maybe there's a need to get rid of distractions so that you can get more focus. There's something that's draining your focus of purpose. And so, what was I saying? Renewal of foundations. I think that is part of it, that maybe this is asking you to simplify. And that's really what I'm feeling off of this. Simplify things in your life, down to, what's the other one I always say with this? Before enlightenment, carry wood, or no, chop wood, carry water. Chop water, no. Carry wood, chop water. Okay, that was easy for me to say. All right, one more time. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. That was so hard for me to say. It doesn't matter though. It means that there might be mundane tasks in your life, but to approach them with a new perspective that is more fulfilling. So it's like, how can you look to the gratitude in this? And so it's like, oh man, I've got to chop all that wood, but instead being like, I am so grateful I've got all this wood to chop so that I can keep the fire burning. I'm so grateful that there is clean water that I can carry. And of course, we don't really have to do those things at all anymore. But however, whatever your version of those mundane tasks, it really feels like, because I'm kind of getting a sense looking at these two cards that there are some drains on your energy that you can't necessarily just stop doing. It's like the light bill still needs to get paid, that sort of thing. And so now I think it's just asking you to, as you cross the threshold to this like new realm, this new beginning, there's ways that you can perceive things through a lens of gratitude that might put you in a greater flow. They get less importance. They become less draining when it's something, oh, I'm grateful that's in place, I'll do that, and da-da-da-da-da. They're wanting me to give a personal example, and for some reason it is around making videos. And getting back to, I've danced around having to edit videos, and I'm not going to edit my chop water things because I think that's silly, but no, but other videos that I'm making and whatever, learning to edit more. And I have for years been so resistant. It's so time consuming to edit a video. Yes, it is. I'm so grateful that I've picked up these editing skills. I'm so grateful that CapCut is free. I'm so grateful that that what a fun life that I like making videos and I get to make them. Like, so there's something about a shift in perspective. Instead of like, I have to do this thing, it's like, oh, I am so grateful I can go home and turn on the lights. I am so grateful when it gets cold that there's heat. You know, that sort of thing. I'm so grateful when I turn on the faucet that there's running water. So it really does kind of feel like there's a shift in perspective. And again, connected to the old growth. I would end it there, but there's something about the trees that really want to speak. Something about the squirrel, again, squirrels running up and down the trees. There was something about investing, like making future investments. Wintertime is coming, so maybe there's a need to like stash some nuts. Maybe you save up money even if you don't feel like you have money to save. Maybe save up for things or put things away wherever you can pre-plan for something. It feels like that wants to be recognized. If you're getting some sort of impulse to do that, don't leave things till the last minute is kind of what I'm feeling from that squirrel. And then just with that old growth kind of a thing, he is the tree man. And then even this angel of death is standing on a tree limb. And so there's this other message of, as you are letting go of the old and like closing out new cycles and crossing the threshold into brand new beginnings, I'm getting this whole like old growth forest. They keep wanting to say that over and over again. So it's like, it's okay to plant seeds into what's dead. And what does that even mean? Like, we don't have to completely clear the whole situation, that things actually may thrive because of kind of like what's dead and beneath you. And I'm feeling like dead trees and whatever, how mushrooms thrive and then new seeds fall into the old growth and then new trees are growing up out of the old trees. I feel like it's appreciating all that you have come through, all that you are, and not feeling like you have to like completely almost like you don't have to be healed of one thing in order to start something new, or you don't have to be it reminds me of a reading I did recently where you know, she was looking to start her own business, but she was working for a corporation, and it's like, it doesn't have to be like all or nothing, one and done kind of things. It can be start planting your seeds and start cultivating, start you know, doing a side hustle here and there, and still keep your bread and butter and keep that, knowing that it's dying underneath you. It's not really it's not really feeding into this new life, this new expression of being, yet it's holding down the foundation and it's feeding the new that you are growing into. So it feels like there's a lot of patience that wants to be spoken of. You don't have to completely give up on anything. Just recognize what's not working and slowly phase it out if you can't just give it up all at once. And don't feel like you have to do anything all at once. All this earth energy, it's slow moving. It's about an investment. It's about committing to yourself and staying true to the commitment, disciplining yourself to see it through. All right, that's all I have for today. Once again, my name is Fairlight. If you would like a palm tarot or astrology reading from me, the information will be in the bio or show notes or wherever you're seeing this. I am still at Instant Karma in downtown Asheville in North Carolina. Just hit me up to find out what days that I'm going to be here as I shift my schedule around a little bit. But anyway, thank you so much, and peace and love until next time.